Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video today. And yesterday, the Houston Rockets beat the Los Angeles Clippers 117 to 106. And the Houston Rockets go to 16-8 on the year now, 7-5 on the road, which the most impressive thing about this road win is that the Rockets reached their seventh road win in this game. They didn't get their seventh road win last year until March. It was like March 8th or something like that. Now, last year, up until the Rockets were in that winning streak, when the Rockets got into their winning streak in the March-April area, when the Rockets really started to play good basketball, the Rockets were playing good basketball before then, but the problem with that, with the Rockets was they played really good at home, and they were absolutely terrible on the road. But then the year the Rockets started to learn how to play on the road and win road games, and that's what we've seen this year. And I think that's a big reason why this team is completely different. At the end of the last year, they learned how to win on the road and play better basketball on the road. They've done it this year, being 2 games over 500 on the road. Not only are they 7-5 on the road now, 16-8 in total, but now they are 2-0 without Fred VanVleet this season. That doesn't mean the Rockets should get rid of Fred VanVleet, but the Rockets have done a good job winning games when Fred VanVleet is not in the lineup. 2 wins this season, beat the crap out of Washington without Fred, maybe a month ago or so, and now yesterday beat the Clippers by 11. Look, yes, I know the Clippers a little short-handed in this one. No James Harden, a couple other guys missing for the Clippers, but it can't. I don't think there's a lot of excuses to be made when the Rockets are missing guys that are very impactful for them, like Fred VanVleet and Tari Eason. And also the Clippers are at home. But I will say the Clippers are a different team when they have James Harden, but so are the Rockets when they have Tari Eason and Fred VanVleet. And you don't have to have Amen Thompson starting because of Fred VanVleet being injured. So, and here's another really important thing to mention. The Rockets, for the first time since the 2016-17 season, win a season series against the Los Angeles Clippers. How many times are we going to have this year where we see this Rockets team doing things that the Rockets have not done in years? Even good Rockets teams couldn't do this. Like, for instance, the Rockets won in Philadelphia this year for the first time since the 2017-18 season. 2 Rockets teams that made the playoffs. 2 Rockets teams that made, that were top 4 in the Western Conference could not win in Philadelphia. Talking about the 2018-19 Rockets and the 2019-20 Rockets and all the other crappy Rockets teams before this year's Rockets. Even, unfortunately, last year's very improved Rockets could not win in Philadelphia. So this year's Rockets team was able to do that when multiple teams with James Harden could not win in Philly. What else have they done? They beat Minnesota as well for the first time since the 2020-21 season. Not to mention another thing the Rockets have done that hasn't been done since the Harden days. Beat Indiana for the first time since the 2019-20 season. The Rockets lost like 2 or 3 times with Harden against Indiana before James left Houston. And then another thing, which lasted multiple seasons with James Harden in Houston, the Rockets have not won a season series against the Los Angeles Clippers since the 2016-17 season. There's been many years where the Rockets split, and a couple of those have came with James Harden, being with the Rockets. I think one of those was in the 2019-20 season. I think that happened in the 2017-18 season as well, possibly. But the Rockets have not won a season series against the Clippers since the 16-17 season. And what, four Harden teams couldn't do that. The 17-18 season, 2018-19 season, 2019-20 season. I guess we don't count the 2021 season because Harden only played like 10 games with that Rockets team. But so yeah, three Rockets teams with Harden could not take down the Clippers in a season series. But this Rockets team is able to win the season series, taking 3 out of I don't know. I don't actually. I'm sorry, but I don't know if the Rockets and the Clippers play a fourth and final time. But even if they do, the Rockets still will win this season series. Even if they lose a fourth and final matchup to the Clippers, Rockets still win the season series. All right, let's go over this game. 117-106, the final score. Let's talk about Jalen Green. 31 points for Jalen, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Great night for Jalen. 9 for 20, 5 for 13 from 3, 8 for 8 at the free throw line. You'd like to see Jalen Green, have a good game, but I'm going to tell you guys one of the reasons why I hate it. And one of the reasons why I hate this is because recently we've seen Jalen Green have this kind of pattern where it's one game, he's knocking down buckets. He's looking like the star we need him to be. Then the next game, it's like that has vanished. Let's go over the last couple games, starting off with a game against Philadelphia. Jalen Green scores 41 points. Absolutely looks amazing. Rockets get an overtime win. He looks phenomenal. What happens their next game? I believe it was against the Thunder. He only scores 9 points. Then what happens against what happens when the Rockets play their next game? When they play the Sacramento Kings, Jalen Green, even though he didn't even get to double digits the game before, it's like he's back to that same old player when he had 41 points. He scores 28 points and I think a season high 7 rebounds for Jalen against the Kings last week. And he even played so well against the Kings, even though his eye was hit pretty hard in that game, and there was no, flagrant called at all, which was bull. But Jalen played amazing against the Kings. What happens in the Rockets' next game? Against the Warriors, Jalen can't reach 15 points, is missing easy layups that I think Jalen will make. Jalen should be making, and Jalen at his best basketball will never miss these type of layups and just does not look like himself, even though the game before he had 28 points. Then what happens the next game after another massive struggle? He picks it up again and has 31 points. So if the pattern continues, that means Jalen's going to struggle in the next game. And the next game, you could possibly say, is the best and most important game of the Houston Rockets regular season. On Wednesday, it is the knockout round against the Golden State Warriors. It is the game where the Rockets can go to Vegas, where only 3 other teams make it to. They can go to Vegas and end up being in the Final Four in Vegas to potentially, for this team to potentially win something big. I mean, even if you lose in the final game, every player on this roster still gets $200,000, and if you win, every player on this roster gets over $500,000. And the unfortunate thing is, in Jalen's career, there's been no one more than the Golden State Warriors that he has struggled against. Golden State has been a very, very, very bad struggle for Jalen Green in his career, and with the way the patterns have been going with Jalen recently, with one great game, then the next game he's terrible. Then the next game he looks great again. And then the next game he looks bad, and then he looks great again. It's over 30. This is the wrong time for the pattern to continue the way it's been going recently, especially when the Rockets are going to need him Wednesday night if they want to head to Las Vegas. You cannot have Jalen Green continue to be on the patterns he has been on in the last couple weeks. And, so I really hope the streak of one great game, then one bad game, one great game, and then back to the bad game ends, because the Rockets will really need Jalen Green on Wednesday night. So that's one of the reasons why I do, I do kind of not like to see Jalen Green have a night like this, just because the fact that the patterns of what he's been doing recently, and how bad the Rockets will need him to play his best basketball on Wednesday to head to Vegas. All right, but he was great. He was great last night. It just makes me less confident he's going to be great Wednesday night. All right, let's get to Amen Thompson. He was fantastic. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Another game where Amen Thompson steps up. When Fred VanVleet can't go. He had a great game against Washington earlier in the year when Fred VanVleet was out. Really hope Fred VanVleet's able to go against Golden State because the Rockets will need him. And even if even if Fred VanVleet can't go, Min Thompson in the 2 games against the Golden State Warriors this season has had 2 really good games. So maybe that will continue for Amen. But a great game for him. 9 for 14, 1 for 3 from 3. And he is really, these last couple of games, these last maybe 6 games, we've really started to see his jumper improve more and more throughout the season as the season goes by. And it's awesome to see. It really is. And I think he just, to me, it just feels like he continues to show how likely he is going to be a very dangerous player in this league if he can figure out his shot, and he's already showing he can do that. Like, I'm going to be honest, like Amin Thompson right now, I wouldn't say he's a good shooter. But he's an improved shooter, and he's and to the point where he's gotten his shot to where I think he's turned himself into a bad, 3-point shooter to a maybe average, slightly above average 3-point shooter. And really we've only seen him, improve. It's not even 24 games in the season of his second year in the league. And look, I think if Amin didn't improve his 3-point shooting at all, I still think he had a good ceiling in the NBA to become a good player because of the value he still brings defensively, offensively, driving to the basket, facilitating, rebounding. I think if Amin Thompson never improved his shooting and just stayed a not so great shooter and brought the other values he brought bringing in, I still think he'd end up being a good player. But with the addition of his shooting and his shooting to continue to improve, I think that just makes him even more dangerous and more likely to be a star for this Houston Rockets team. And if he's improved this much so far, only 24 games in the season, I can guarantee that his shooting is not done improving. So awesome to see Amin Thompson. All right, Jalen Green. Sorry, I already went over Jalen Green. Jabari Smith Jr., 13 and 12. Jabari has stepped up against this Clippers team this year, has double-digit rebounds in 2 of the 3 Clippers games this year, averaging 15 points per game in the 3 games against them, averaging 10 rebounds per game. Last night he had 13 and 12, shot 4 for 9, 2 for 5 from 3. Dylan Brooks had 19, 7 and 5. He was great all around, 7 for 15, 4 for 8. This is another instance where you have a guy who sometimes can have inefficient games where one game he looks great and then the next game he looks not so great. It's not what you want to see when the Rockets are about to play one of their biggest games of the year. Alperen Sengun had a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. I thought the Clippers did a really good job of defending him last night. 4 for 9, didn't take a lot of shot attempts, only took 2 threes, 0 for 2 from 3, 3 for 4 at the free throw line. I thought the Clippers did a great job of, guarding Alp and managing him offensively, shooting-wise and his scoring. But what that did was it led to Alp giving other guys more shots who were able to capitalize on those opportunities. Guys like Aaron Holiday, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Amin Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. all got to eat, I think, a little bit extra because of the Clippers' defensive plans against Alperen Sengun. But he was great tonight. He was great last night, even though he wasn't up there in the points, but assists and rebounds, he still helps a lot with, his facilitating and his rebounding and his defense. All right. So Jayshawn Tate got his most run he's seen all season, thanks to Tari Eason and Fred VanVleet being out. And I think, look, Jayshawn Tate and Aaron Holiday, they remind you, like, last night, we are some guys on the bottom of the bench who can provide you guys. We can give you some good minutes. Jayshawn Tate, 18 minutes, 2 for 4, 6 points, 2 for 4, was able to put some points on the board, got 4 rebounds, 2 assists, got a steal, plays good defense, plays hard and aggressive. Aaron Holiday, 3 for 6, all 3-point attempts for Aaron Holiday, 3 for 6 from 3, 11 points, 3 assists. Look, I love Reed Shepherd, and he didn't play that much in this game. 11 minutes, 0 for 3 from 3, did nothing else. If I were the Rockets and you're very serious about winning, this is a team that is like, I think before you'd maybe be more focused on a young guy getting more minutes and improving than potentially a better player, getting minutes to help the team win or be better. I think way before years ago that would be something the Rockets would avoid doing. But with this Rockets team being in the serious window of winning, 16-8, 3 seed in the West, I just think that maybe it's time to put Reed Shepherd on the bench and give minutes to Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday's been sitting on the bench, not playing that much. Reed Shepherd's been getting the backup guard minutes. Maybe it's time for that to change with the way Aaron Holiday has played in this game and has played in previous games when he comes in late into the game if the Rockets are getting blown out or if the Rockets are, beating the crap out of somebody. So I think Aaron Holiday should be getting more minutes for this Rockets team. And he was great tonight. Steven Adams, another great game for Steven Adams. He wasn't as good as he was against Golden State, but 10 minutes, 2 for 2 from the floor, 4 points, 4 rebounds. I thought it was a good night for Steven. And that's really it. Jeff Green, Jack Lando, Jack McVay, DNPs. Rockets get the 117-106 win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.